Okay, here's a fascinating question to start us off. What happens when a multi-billion-dollar global luxury powerhouse makes this massive calculated bet on the world's fastest sport? And I mean, hint, it's way more strategic than just putting a logo on a race car. Much more.
Definitely much more. It's a whole different ballgame.
So today we're diving deep into a really incredible analysis from Lillian Raji. Now, Lillian is a global luxury communications advisor, a fractional CMO, a columnist, and president of the Lillian Raji Agency. And for over 2 decades, she's been a trusted strategic advisor for some of the world's top luxury brands. Really impressive.
Decades of experience there.
Exactly. And she's also the founder of the PR Advisor. That's a platform offering communications and PR guidance for emerging to mid-sized brands. It was actually inspired by her decade-long National Jeweler magazine column.
Oh, okay. So practical advice, too.
Right. And her Forbes column, The Pursuit of Luxury, is where this analysis comes from. It really examines how luxury brands use emotional marketing to capture their, well, very passionate customers. So our mission today, let's unpack Lillian's insights on LVMH's huge, unprecedented $1.5 billion Formula One partnership. We're going to discover why this isn't just about speed, really, but about cultivating a passionate future for luxury. Okay, let's get into this.
Let's do it.
So let's start with that number because it's just staggering. LVMH has calculated $1.5 billion, 10-year investment in Formula One, announced late 2024, lining up perfectly with F1's 75th anniversary. That's just an enormous figure.
It really is. And what's fascinating here, as Lillian really emphasizes, is Bernard Arnault's vision at LVMH. This is not just about sticking logos everywhere, like their big splash with the 2024 Paris Olympic sponsorship. This F1 deal is about something deeper. It's strategic narrative layering, she calls it.
Yeah.
And crucially, it's about future customer cultivation, thinking long-term.
Building a story, not just buying ad space.
Exactly. It's a much more sophisticated play.
And you can really see that strategy in how specific LVMH brands, their maisons, are involved, right? It's not just a blanket LVMH thing.
No, not at all. Very targeted.
Like Tag Heuer stepping in, taking it over from Rolex as the official timekeeper for the Monaco Grand Prix. That's a big statement.
Huge. Iconic race, iconic placement.
Or Louis Vuitton, known for craftsmanship, creating these bespoke trunks as carrying cases for the Formula One trophies.
Beautiful, just reinforcing that luxury image.
And then Moet and Chandon achieving what Lillian calls omnipresence across these newly rebranded races. The Formula One Tag Heuer Monaco Grand Prix, the Formula One Louis Vuitton Australian Grand Prix 2025, Formula One Moet and Chandon Belgian Grand Prix 2025. They're everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. Lillian points out these brands will basically peacock on 24 global stages across 9 months. Think about that visibility. And crucially, reaching, as she puts it, a sundry audience that may never have entered a Louis Vuitton boutique or considered a Tag Heuer timepiece.
So it's about expanding the reach.
Precisely. Connecting this to the bigger picture, it's about reaching those younger, more diverse spectators, people who aren't maybe the traditional luxury buyers yet. Which, brings up a really important question for brands, maybe even for you listening. How do you secure your future appeal to new groups without alienating your current base?
Yeah, that's the tightrope walk, isn't it?
It is. And LVMH is betting $1.5 billion that F1's the way to do it.
And it seems like F1 itself is providing fertile ground for this. Lillian notes F1's just exploding in popularity. She mentions it's even making scheduled Grand Prix stops right in her Miami backyard for the next 15 years. She saw firsthand how the sport is entangling with luxury there.
Yeah, she saw it up close. And this connects directly to what Rob Bloom, the CMO of Aston Martin Formula One, told her. Bloom really emphasized that Formula One is really having a moment. It's attracting these newer, younger fans, and interestingly, skewing more female, especially in the U.S. That's a significant shift.
Okay, so that demographic shift is key. And for Aston Martin, Lillian notes it's about more than just winning races. Bloom talks about continuously exalting the brand's image to an impassioned community. What does that actually mean in practice? Sounds quite grand.
It does, but they back it up. Lillian uses their Glenfiddich partnership as a perfect example. They found this incredibly rare whiskey cask from 1959, the exact year Aston Martin first competed in F1.
Wow, that's quite a find.
Isn't it? And they created this special bottle. It's not just co-branding, it's aligning origin stories, creating what Lillian calls borrowed equity. Both brands value craftsmanship, precision, heritage, innovation. It resonates. It's about shared appreciation.
Shared values.
Exactly. And Bloom also talked about the team's growth mindset. Lillian found this really compelling. They never settle, always pushing for excellence. He actually called it addictive.
Addictive. That's interesting. It taps into that aspirational quality of luxury, maybe.
I think so, that constant pursuit of betterment. And it doesn't stop at the track.
Right. Lillian mentioned the extension into culture and lifestyle. F1 showing up in everyday currency, as she put it.
Precisely. Aston Martin, as Bloom said, is ultimately a lifestyle brand. They've done collaborations with the Rolling Stones, DJ Dom Dolla, taking racing into music, fashion, nightlife. It makes F1 culturally relevant beyond the hardcore fans.
So it becomes part of a broader conversation.
Yeah. And this really raises a question for, anyone listening in any industry. How can you leverage cultural trends like this? How can you expand your reach beyond the usual? F1's providing a kind of template here.
A template for cultural integration, and technology must be a huge part of making that connection, right? Especially with diverse fan interests.
Absolutely crucial. Johnny Hayworth, F1's Director of Commercial Partnerships, he noted to Lillian that new fans are interested in everything, from the deep technology, the amazing engineering, right through to the culture and lifestyle around it.
That's a wide spectrum to cover.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's where tech partners become essential. And Globant is a key player here. Guibar Engelbien, Globant's co-founder, he explained their partnership to Lillian as multi-year, an official partner deal. But the focus, he said, is using engineering and data to lean into human emotions.
Okay, lean into emotions, not just efficiency.
Exactly. He stressed that technology, especially with smartphones now, can create an actual emotional bond, make experiences memorable. It's a shift, right? Tech, not just for speed or data, but for intimacy, connection.
That's fascinating. Tech as an intimacy tool.
Yeah, making you feel something connected to the brand and the sport.
And you see that echoed in F1's own marketing goals. Donna Burkett-Beida, their director of marketing, told Lillian her mission is basically to make people fall in love with F1.
Fall in love, that's a strong goal for a sport.
It is. She's aiming for incredible highs and passion, but also a level of comfort, creating those memorable moments.
And to make that happen, Lillian notes Globant is building this new customer-facing F1 app. And it's not just about race schedules or results. It's designed to be proactive.
Proactive, how so?
Like anticipating what fans might need or want, enhancing their experience before they even ask, maybe suggesting content or directions at the track based on your preferences. It allows for continuous engagement.
Okay, so moving from just reacting to predicting and enhancing.
Yeah. Think about it. How often do brands truly anticipate your needs like that? It's pretty rare. It could be a massive driver for loyalty.
Definitely something to think about. Now, one of the biggest shifts Lillian highlights impacting all of this is the female audience.
Oh, absolutely. The accelerating female demographic, as Lillian puts it. It's reshaping F1's identity.
And inspiring new kinds of engagement.
Totally. Lillian gives great examples, like Samantha Zimmerman, a fine artist. She captures motorsports through oil paint, graphite pencil, does live painting at events like the Paddock Club, reaching a different kind of audience through art.
Wow, art at the racetrack.
Exactly. And then there's Tag Heuer's partnership with F1 Academy.
Right, the all-female racing series.
Yes, designed specifically to push women towards the highest levels of motorsport. Susie Wolf, its managing director, told Lillian they have a unique opportunity to fundamentally change our industry, driving female participation everywhere.
That's a powerful mission, and it seems like it's already paying off for Tag Heuer.
Big time. Lillian reports that since Tag Heuer became F1's official timekeeper, CEO Antoine Pin has seen double-digit increases in store traffic.
Double digits, that's significant.
Very. And they've had to increase production on their car-related watch models specifically.
Wow, and this is despite challenges in the wider watch market.
That's the kicker. In 2024, Tag Heuer jumped from 15th to 11th among top Swiss watch brands by sales. And yeah, that was despite industry tariffs making things tough.
So the F1 connection is clearly driving real business results.
Undeniably. And it underlines the broader significance Lillian raises. F1 now has over 800 million viewers a year. 40% are women.
40%, that's huge.
It is. So the question Lillian implicitly asks is, are other male-dominated industries just missing this? Are they overlooking this huge, passionate female audience?
A critical missed opportunity, potentially.
It's massive. Lillian's analysis suggests they really need to pay attention.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Pulling from Lillian Raji's analysis, what are the core takeaways? What does this LVMH F1 bet really signal?
Well, Lillian distills it really well. First takeaway, Formula One is luxury's most sophisticated customer acquisition platform, period. It gives brands access to 800 million passionate people who already appreciate things like precision, performance, values that align with luxury. It's a natural fit.
A natural path to purchase, she says, more organic than just ads.
Exactly. Second, shift technology from just an efficiency tool to an emotional bond creator. Globant's work on the F1 app is the prime example Lillian uses, using tech, especially phones, for intimacy, anticipation, making memories. It's about feeling, not just function.
Right, making tech personal.
Third takeaway, cultural expansion is the new competitive edge in sports marketing. F1 isn't just a sport anymore. It shows up in everyday currency. Lillian calls it music, fashion, nightlife. That broad cultural relevance is what attracts luxury giants like LVMH.
Got it. Be part of the culture, not just the event.
Precisely. Fourth, the female F1 audience is reshaping marketing focus. This fast-growing group isn't just a statistic. They're inspiring new art, new partnerships like F1 Academy. It highlights a passionate fan base that maybe other industries are ignoring.
A major demographic shift to watch.
Definitely. And finally, number 5, Formula One is basically a goldmine for luxury partnership synergy. The fans already get it. They appreciate precision, excellence. There's this natural affinity there that's really hard for traditional marketing to just manufacture.
So it's about shared passion.
It's all about experience, authenticity, and that deep emotional connection, Lillian argues, way beyond just a simple transaction.
And Lillian really frames F1's mission to make people fall in love with the sport as this huge shift, doesn't she? Moving luxury from its old school, maybe pragmatic exclusivity towards something more like passionate inclusivity.
Yes, exactly. And when you see Tag Heuer getting those double-digit traffic bumps, jumping up the rankings even when the market's tough, it just confirms what Lillian says, that emotional connection. That's luxury's most recession-proof currency. Passion pays.
Passion pays. I like that.
This whole deep dive really shows that true luxury, at the end of the day, it's so much more than just the item itself. It's about an experience, often a shared one, that builds real connection.
So the next time you hear that F1 engine roar, or maybe you see a luxury brand at a big event, think about the layers. Consider that intricate emotional strategy Lillian unpacked for us. It's not just marketing. It's tapping into something deeper, into human passion.
Building a community through shared feeling.
Exactly. And if you want to dive even deeper into Lillian Raji's fantastic insights, and honestly, there's more detail in her piece, we definitely recommend reading her full Forbes article. It's called Why LVMH's $1.5 billion Formula One bet is no average luxury partnership. Find it on Forbes.com.
Definitely worth the read.
Absolutely. And you can also explore more of Lillian's analysis on the luxury industry by visiting her website. That's at www.lilianraji.com, LILIANRAJI.com.